Well, all right, hey, welcome back. I thought I would teach you how I survived 5 gigs in 7 days with 5 different artists, I guess it would be. It was a crazy week full of performing, recording, rehearsing. I ran the gamut of stuff. And we're gonna talk about all of the different approaches, the different gear I had to play. There's a whole slew of things that really go into it. I mean, imagine, let's say you have a day job, right? But you gotta go to a different office every day. And one day you're doing maybe an accounting job, but then the next day, you know, you're maybe doing something slightly different. Maybe you're in HR, right? But so there's some accounting attached to HR, right? This is how a working guitar player like myself kind of navigates this world, whether it be for someone else's band or my own. We did it all. And we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about all those aspects of it. So in your career, you probably have bucket lists and things you want to achieve. And as a guitar player, one of the things I always wanted to do was just really be a great sideman, like Mike Campbell, or, I mean, he's part of the band, but you know what I mean? You think about Tom Petty, then you think about Mike. Or you think about someone like Buddy Miller in the Americana world, who is like called by everybody just because he has the sound, the vibe, the professionalism. And there's a whole slew of other folks I could talk about that really do that well. And I love playing with singer-songwriters because I think I complement them well. So over the years, I've been playing with this gal, Lucie Silvas, and Lucie has had a really, really great career in the UK. She had spent time between UK and New Zealand where she's grown up. But she lives in Nashville now for the past, I don't know, probably 15 years or so. And if you mention her name in songwriter circles, I mean, she is beloved. Like, everybody loves what she does. She's so unique, has a great, great approach, great style. And I think after all these years, I've gotten to be, you know, really sort of someone that plays her music the way I think it should be played. And we got to do that last week, her first Nashville show in 2 years, I think it was. So we rehearsed on Thursday the 4th and then played a show at a really, really cool venue called the Basement East in East Nashville, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the rehearsal is a full day. It's about probably, 10 to 5 sort of a thing. So you're loading in, you're going through everything, you're taking a break, going back, and her music is loaded with background vocals. So I'm doing a lot of singing with some other great singers in the band. And we're gonna have plenty of clips for that too. But real quickly, the Basement East is a special place here in Nashville. It is the sister to the original Basement, which we also call the OG. More on that later, the OG Basement. But that venue, the Basement East, was ravaged by the tornado last year, and it's such a great thing to see it sort of back up and running. It's better than ever. It looks great, but still kind of smells like old beer when you walk in, which I just love. So I want to show you some clips of what we did with Lucie. It was a beautiful, beautiful show with a great turnout and lots of fun parts and playing and singing for me. So let's check out some of that. Now, for all the gigs that I played, even the session that I did this week, I took this small board, and it's got sort of just about everything I need. Now, you're going to say, that's a small board? I have plenty of other bigger ones for other kinds of jobs, but I'm trying to say, keep it small, keep it simple, don't go crazy with a lot of preset style pedals and that sort of thing, and really just find something that kind of forces you to be creative on the guitar and use pedals to kind of, you know, create a palette of colors and tones, essentially. So I use that. Lucie's music has a lot of like heavy reverb, like, you know, Phil Spector type stuff, Beach Boys type sounds. And I use a lot of light overdrive with her, but there's times when I got to get fuzzy and gnarly too. So this board totally did the trick. You'll hear it. Now, one of the other really cool things about getting to play with Lucie is that inevitably I'm going to get to hang out and even play with her husband, John Osborne, of the great country rock duo Brothers Osborne. I love this band. I think they're amazing people. They're some of the nicest folks I've ever been around, and John is one of the most talented guys. Somebody's at my door. That's my ring alarm going off. Let's turn that. But in any case, it's a great family all around, and it's a really inspiring situation to be in. And John joined us on Lucie's last tune called E.G.O. We get to jam a little bit. And here's a clip of me taking the solo. It's just so fun. I hope you dig it. So the show went really well, as you can imagine. Everybody played their butts off. We had a great time, lots of love in the room, friends all around. And then I think I'm just gonna get like my Saturday off until Lucie texts me in the morning and says, hey, do you wanna play the Bluebird Cafe with me? And of course, I'm gonna say yes to that. It's such a fun room. I haven't done it in a long time. And Lucie plays piano, but she doesn't play acoustic guitar. So I backed her up on some of her songs, and we were joined by really great artists, Tennille Townes and Alex Hall. I think Tennille was actually the host of the round and invited those two on. But I was happy to be there, and I even picked on some of their songs, as we would say. But I always like to take some tools for the acoustic stuff, so I put this little LR Bags board together with their VoicePrint, their Align Series EQ, and Reverb. I didn't need much, because this VoicePrint is really cool. It's kind of like a Kemper for acoustic guitars. You can take an image of your, or an IR, I should say, of your acoustic guitar with your phone and their app, and put it in there, dial it to taste with some reverb, and it just makes your acoustic guitar sound better than it would just with a pickup. But I do use their Anthem pickup, and it sounds super natural, and I think I get a pretty good sound. I'm just experimenting, so there's a lot more to go. No video of that show, but hey, it was really, really fun. We had a great time. I wish you could have been there. So Sunday I had off technically, but really I used that day to prepare for the Monday night, first ever Nashville guitar night with Guthrie Trapp and friends. Guthrie had myself, Ford Thurston, Jack Roosh, Dylan Altman. Man, it was just a really, really great time. The place was packed to the gills. It was the Underdog in East Nashville. There were people that were just listening outside, and we didn't charge a cover, but we did record it, really high quality video and audio. That's not done yet, but I'm gonna share it when we have it. So just a couple iPhone clips, but what I did was I played a couple new tunes. Well, they're really my versions of a couple classic blues covers. It's part of this record I'm recording where I'm taking some obscure blues tunes, making them my own, and then gonna put them out there for you guys to enjoy, and there'll be all sorts of hoopla around that. But I did an old Johnny Copeland tune called Heebie-Jeebies, not to be confused with a Louis Armstrong tune called that. Who has more than one song called Heebie-Jeebies, right? And then I did a really classic Bobby Blue Bland song called I Wouldn't Treat a Dog the Way You Treated Me. So that's all coming up. Here's a couple quick clips from people's phones that I thought you'd enjoy and just kind of give you a little bit of a taste of what to expect. So the night really was a massive success. We didn't know what was going to happen. We knew people would show up, but we didn't know they'd come from Louisiana, Alabama. People drove from Arizona to the show. There was even a gentleman who moved here prematurely from Israel just so he could catch the show. It was really an amazing night with so many friends, and it felt like Nashville has gotten away from that. And I gotta, say, we all get together at our dinners and we say, why isn't there a place where we can all play and all have the fans that we connect with through YouTube or Instagram or whatever come and hear us play? Because you're probably on the other end listening to this saying, I've sent you an email saying, where can I hear you play? And you're not playing. It's because there's not a lot of places to do what we do here. It's a crime. It really is. I mean, if you want to play top 40 country on Broadway for 4 hours, you can do that. But those days are over for me. I want to play what excites me. And then that's, blues, rock, improvisational music, funky stuff, all that kind of stuff. And I get to sing as well, which is great. So I've been working on that quite a bit over the years. But we really, as I check my notes, but we really did have a blast. So thank you so much if you were there. There's going to be more to come. Please stay tuned for that. So once the day was over, I was right back to working on a handful of new tunes to me from this great band out of Oklahoma called the Imaginaries. It's headed up by Maggie McClure and her husband Shane Henry, who's a friend of mine. Shane and I got connected at a NAMM show. He's done some great things for me as far as recommendations. I really wanted to just jam with him. I think he's a great player, singer, and he and his wife write great songs. Got a couple clips of that, but what I really wanted to show you is how, I basically went to their Airbnb an hour before load-in, and we ran through the songs once. I had my charts on my iPad and just complimented them the best I could. I learned parts. I listened to the songs as I went on dog walks. I really tried to digest the information so that I felt like I was part of the band, and I really think it came off that way. I think some of these clips will show that for sure. I mean, he and his wife has these great duo vocals, and as a backing band, you really want to support that. So let's check it out. Jericho, the walls could not sustain, undefeated, were only the warriors remain. I thought I was done on Wednesday. I'm just kind of getting back in the groove of all of my admin stuff. I call it returning emails, you know, depositing a check on my phone and stuff like that, making sure that I have all my ducks in a row. And then I get a call from a good friend of mine called, his name is Matt Slehekta. He's a great singer-songwriter. He says, hey, I'm playing acoustic guitar on this session and the electric guy's being kind of flaky. Can I recommend you? I said, absolutely. So we did a full day at the Sound Emporium for a Canadian artist named Ashley Barlow. I get to play just kind of really fun Americana, atmospheric rock stuff. I love to do that. Took a whole host of gear. It's a beautiful studio, and I'll post a photo so you guys can see. They did have a video crew, but we didn't really have much that we could pull from at the moment because, man, when you're recording, you're just going. You're trying to get 5 songs in a short amount of time. One of the songs went 6/8, 4/4, 6/8, 4/4, with all this different sort of wackiness going on. So it was really, really tricky to pull it all together. But when you get great musicians in this town together, you can do it pretty much, you know, at the drop of a hat. So it was a really kind of like guitar playing week for sure. Now, I missed sitting in front of this camera talking to you guys, but it's great to kind of cultivate that and bring it to you and say, hey, this is what we did. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of insight into my crazy guitar playing week. You know, not only was it a crazy guitar playing week, I played 3 different amplifiers, 2 different pedal boards, half a dozen different guitars. Let's see, I played, and they're all not even hanging up. You can see the studio's trashed. I played my SG, I played my Novo, I played my PRS DGT, I played Custom Shop Strat, what else? Acoustic guitar, I played my old Harmony for Lucie's gig as well. So many miles getting put on the gear, which is a lot of fun, because it feels like, I can actually get the car out of the garage, you know? It's a great, great feeling. So lots more to come, lots more video from Nashville Guitar Night is coming. It's gonna be really, really cool. I've been seeing some clips, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. So, like always, stay in touch. Click the links below for links to gear. Click the links below for my website to check out courses. More courses coming, a brand new website in 2022. It's gonna be awesome. Thanks so much for hanging with me. And please comment below if you have questions about any of the stuff you saw or anything that I can help you with when preparing for your own gigs and performances. I'd love that. All right, thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you on the next video and we'll learn something for sure. See you then.